We will go ahead and record now. If you're not muted, just go ahead and click the mic at the bottom of your screen. That way we don't get side noise. We are going to talk tonight through PowerPoint. There we are. So this is a coaching crash course I put together. And I know we pick up a lot of speed and a lot of momentum in the spring. So I wanted to kind of go through, and my thought was the basics. If you just knew these few things, you would be off to a good start. Or if you've been kind of, you had a long winter or whatever happened, you lost a little bit of your steam, you could get back into this crash course, assess what you know, learn some new things, and then run ahead with whatever goals you set for your spring. So again, I'm Bree, and here we are, solid info for getting started or re-engaged. So the acronyms FORM and KISS, what does that mean? FORM, if you've read GoPro by Eric Worre, you know that forming stands for family, occupation, recreation, and message. The message comes at the end because really what you have to say in network marketing is never as important as what your clients have to say. And I'll expand on that in a minute. My idea with this is the more you practice forming, it's just asking questions. It's just a skeleton structure for how do you talk to people. And it's not only for coaching and, getting people excited about getting healthy, but it's for everyday life. Instead of that awkward silence with somebody on the elevator, practice forming. You might not ever see them again, so it's okay if they think you're weird. It's not a big deal. Where are you from? What do you like to do for fun? How many kids do you have? Blah, blah, blah. All of those things. If that's hard for you, I would encourage you to sit down and write out FOR. And under those letters, just write out questions that go in with that. Questions about their family, questions about their job. When did they decide to, get that job? What led them there? Have they always wanted to be a nurse or an accountant or whatever it is? But at the end, that's your message. So over time, you're building trust and rapport with people because you're genuinely getting to know them. And the difference between what we do and what maybe some other network marketing companies do is we're not vomiting our message all over people. We are genuinely trying to make new friends and find new people who want to be excited and motivated and happy. And that's where forming really separates what we do with maybe what other people do. KISS, keep it simple, sweetie. So this was something that I definitely struggled with as a new coach and still struggle with as an excited person. I'm typically very enthusiastic about what I'm doing, and if I love it, I just think that you're gonna love it too, and it's just awesome. And people always will ask you, 5 questions at once about, what's your challenge group? How much does it cost? When does it start? Where do I have to go? Like, they just want to know all these things at once. And so I want you to remember that Danny Johnson, one of the self-made millionaires and one of the best network marketers ever, has taught me that the person asking the questions is in control of the conversation. So even though they might have asked you 5 questions, you don't have to answer 5 questions at once. And when you keep it simple, oftentimes I'll just blow over all the 4 other questions and I'll pick one question to answer and start working about that in a very methodic way. And when you do that, you pick one question to answer and then you throw in a question and then you're back to form as well. That's why I put these 2 together. I really 99% of the time never send a message on Facebook or otherwise without asking a question at the end, because I want to keep them engaged and I want to keep that conversation rolling. Otherwise, you might hear crickets, and then it's going to be like all awkward. Like, I know you got my message because I can see that you read it at 6:57 p.m. So what did you think? And it's just all, no. So if I continue to ask a question, and there's people, they're like, why are you asking me so many questions? I'm like, I don't know. I need to know more about you, or, and I just answer it in a really casual way. Just know that it's what you do. It's not going to be totally comfortable at first, but again, making form your language. The more you do it, the more reflexive it'll be. And it'll even happen then in your workplace, and you might see positive effects from that actually when you're engaged and interested. So on Facebook, a bulk of our business is done on Facebook. So the yays and nays of that. Really, I feel like my coach did a really good job at preparing me for Facebook, but I know that second that you announce that you're a coach, it's like people are coming out of the woodwork, and then, you know, what do you do? And then you're ending up vomiting on people with all this exciting information. You don't even know what to say. So this is definitely, as a new coach, this is it. I don't want your face to turn into the Beachbody logo or Chalene Johnson, because you are not the brand. You are a representative of how well Beachbody has helped you and changed your life. So your profile photo, that needs to be a really clean image, you know, one that totally captures who you are and your character, a nice smile, but only one person in that image, because you don't want to confuse people. Granted, if it's you and like your child or whatnot, of course they'll know who you are. But if it's you know, you and all your best girlfriends, your face is going to be really small, because where are 90% of our population looking at Facebook? On your phone. So you have to remember that your audience is seeing things really tiny, and that needs to be a nice clear image, so that, you know, if you see them in the grocery store, you're a friendly face, and now you can strike up a conversation and start forming them. Posts, 3 per day, typical. With this, I really do like a 2-to-1 ratio. One of them is fitness related. So repeatedly, like every morning, talking about your Shakeology is probably going to become white noise to people. And what you don't want to do is turn your Facebook feed into white noise and then have people unfollow you, because that's going to go completely against what you're trying to do. You're trying to gain visibility so that you can reach more people and help more people get healthy and happy, right? So to avoid that, of course, it's the lifestyle, not the logo. Show interesting things that you're doing with Shakeology, maybe like a no bake, or you're having, I don't know what. Oh, I make mug cake out of Shakeology a lot. That's good. My kid drinks Shakeology. It's good to show people that, you know, it's not, there's nothing crazy in it, so it's absolutely safe, if not recommended, for him to have it. Stuff like that. I've even started doing lately more like how I can turn playing with my preschooler into exercise. You know, we're running around, we're doing whatever, because that's real life. So stuff like that. Be helpful. Try to add value. The Go-Giver is a great book, and you'll understand more once you read that. It's a fast read. So another way to gain that visibility I was talking about is to ask open-ended questions, opinion questions, take a poll, things like that. I will tell you, I use Hootsuite only for these open-ended questions, because Facebook is always changing the rules about what's going to gain affinity and what, you know, isn't going to be as visible. When you're sharing people's posts, you are you're giving them more visibility and not so much yourself. So avoid sharing posts. And I still do it every once in a while, but I just don't ever expect them to go fantastically. But Hootsuite actually gets a lower visibility than your organically posted posts. So what does that mean? So Hootsuite is a tool. You create an account, no big deal. You can schedule posts, which sounds great. But if they're not getting you that visibility, they're really not very worth it. The only thing I do is my open-ended questions in there, because people love answering open-ended questions. People love inputting their opinion, their thoughts, whatever. So like today I Hootsuited, if you could be on any game show, what would it be and why? And people are answering that. So that's taking off pretty well. But I'll never do like a heartfelt post or anything like that. And two, if people know what Hootsuite is, then it's really commercialized if you do something like that. So that's just a side note, a bit of advice. Handling negativity. I love this, and I love that Ladena was at Super Saturday and that this was on here, because I actually friended her after seeing how she handled a really sideways comment and remark about coaches and whatnot on a social media swap site. And I saw she really handled that with grace, and she reaffirmed why she's a coach, and you know, it just stuck out in just contrast. You know, there was this person going on about how, you know, illegitimate coaching is, and that's too bad you think that. And then she was, you know, well, I know what I do for people, and I know that I'm helping people, and I'm sorry you don't feel the same way. You know, she didn't rebuttal with any sort of you know, slanderous remarks or anything like that. So just know that people are always watching you, and you never know, you know, who you're going to inspire in that moment. And that's going to speak a lot about your character. We all have the same workouts to sell people. I hate that word. We all have the same Shakeology. We all have all of the same stuff. The only thing that separates you and me is our brand, and what, you know, people are attracted to is us and our character and the way that we coach and our style and personality. So just know that. Keep your dignity and your integrity. It's social media. Not everybody's going to love you, and that's okay, because if everybody did, that would be just way too much Facebook time, right? So if I would you, that question structure goes with me all the time. I use it with my team. I use it at work. I'm actually a director of nursing, leading a team in a different atmosphere. So if I blank, would you blank? If I sent you a quick YouTube, would you check it out? That sentence structure comes back from GoPro by Eric Worre, and it's just a natural inclination to say yes when you word something like that. Or have you considered is a really non-offensive, just assertive way. Have you considered joining a challenge group? And they're like, what is a challenge group? And then that opens the door for you to talk about that. Now, adding to your network. This is great. You should be adding, our team has started using the power of threes. And so they recommend 3 people a day. For me, that's kind of hard. I'm near Marshalltown, and there are a ton of us who are in that area. So instead of, you know, prospecting people that are from a saturated market, you go out and you meet people elsewhere, or you can pick a couple people or a couple platforms, I mean, and kind of tie them in. So Instagram, you can meet people from all over the world on Instagram. And then, you know, you can't really converse or have a private chat or a message as easily as you can on Facebook. So then I asked them, you know, hey, I'd like to keep chatting with you about this. Do you have Facebook? So that is how you can add to your network over. If you're finding that, like, you and all your BFFs or coaches too, open your horizon a little bit. But typically I try to add 3 people a week. And my little pro tip was to add people on the weekends or in the evenings, and especially like a Friday or Saturday night, because people are typically out socializing with their friends, and, you know, they're posting their selfies on Facebook or whatever, and they might be more apt to friend a stranger. And shameless secrets, I have actually not pretended, but I'm just like really play it cool, and I'm like, oh, didn't we go to high school together? And they're like, no, I don't think so. I'm like, oh, that's fine. Like, I love meeting new people anyways. And actually, complete and total stranger, at the time I was living in State Center, she and I became very, very close friends. She averted and avoided gastric bypass surgery with the 21-day fix, and later became a coach on my team. And she was a total stranger that I added on Facebook. So never rule anybody out. And just remember that it's not fair for you to decide yes or no for people. And you decide no when you choose not to ask them or invite them. So no means not right now. It just might not be the right time for them. But just remember that it's not your decision. So Instagram, like I just talked about, you don't really have to post as often. And I don't really maintain a whole lot of Instagram, definitely on Facebook primarily. But underneath your picture in the comment section, you can put hashtags, and you can delete them and then repost hashtags. And every time you repost the hashtags, it will bump your picture up in all of those categories that you have put the pound sign in front of. And so hashtag how to. With that, you don't want to find people who are already into fitness and they already have stuff, you know, kind of put in place. We know, I mean, weight loss, this is no big secret. Beachbody didn't uncover how to lose weight. What they did is really perfected a system and made it amazing with this network of support that we all have between coaches and friends. So there are other people out there doing other stuff. Fine. With your hashtags, what you want to do, think about a couple of descriptive words or, things, words that describe you, where you are geographically, what you like to do, those kind of things. So when I hashtag mom, Iowa, blonde, happy, cowgirl, just weird stuff. Actually, I even hashtagged the breed of my cat because why not? So, cat people might need to get healthy too. So it's just random things. Your goal is to find other people who are interested in things you're also interested in, but who also need help getting healthy, or they're ready to connect, or they're ready to take it up a bit. Caption on your Instagram account, I would strongly advise not mentioning that you're a Beachbody coach in your bio, because immediately if somebody comes to check out your page, they're going to assume that you're just wanting to sell them Shakeology, probably. So instead, I don't even know what my bio says, but I know it's something about I'm a mom. Yep. So my hashtag handle, or my Instagram handle, is Jude's Mama Bree. So figure that one out. So my bio is I'm Bree, Jude's mama. And then under there, I just have family, health, helping others. I'd love it if you met me. And then I put my Facebook link on there. It's done several different ways. If you YouTube any Instagram how-to, and there's a resource at the end of this, you can learn a lot more about that. So creating your brand, really you want to standardize your photos. You know what you like. You like the same fonts, probably the same filters. So you'll start to create a look for your account, and then people will just come to know to expect that. There are some great photo editing apps. I have the iPhone. I love Rana Designs, Rhonna. I like, what is it? I'll look at it right here. Why don't I just look? Snapseed, Moldiv is a good one for like the graph, but there are tons of them. And then over time you just use the same fonts, etc. Try to use the same lighting. Try to make your pictures look inviting and engaging. If it's a bad picture, it's probably not going to go very well. At the top, add a location to your photos. So that little that map bubble or whatever you call it, I don't really know the name for it. You click that, and you can type in your Facebook link or your blog link or whatever right there as the location. So you're still driving traffic to whatever platform you use the most. Pinterest is really cool, and I'm learning a lot about this. The coolest part is that it's really low maintenance, and that you will get followers even when you're not tending to it. So if social media is categorized like plants, Pinterest is like the cactus of all plants. You don't really have to water it. You don't have to do much with it. It's there. There are some secrets. You need 5 boards, and on the boards you need 5 to 10 boards or pins each board, and that will show enough content that it doesn't look void or like you just kind of threw it together. You want to name your board names, things that people would typically type into Google to search. SEO, it will increase your search engine optimization. So if you can get LinkedIn from Google, that would be huge. People then would be driven right to your space and to your message, essentially. Same thing with Instagram and Facebook in general. Make your bio unique to you. Just make it yourself. Things that are just unapologetically you. What do you stand for? What is your mission in coaching? What is your mission to do with anything, with fitness, with motivating people, that sort of thing. I had to mention this at Super Saturday too, but it was so interesting. I'd left my Pinterest just vacant for a while. I had started a Pinterest account mainly to plan a wedding that didn't happen by my choice. It was fine. But I had all these boards that were still all these wedding ideas and different kinds of things, decorations, cakes, dresses, blah, blah, blah. And I kept seeing, after I had left the guy and still not been on Pinterest for months, I kept seeing that I was getting followers. And I'm like, what? Why are they following me? I'm not even on here. I'm not even getting married. It was just funny to me. So I went back in after I learned all this stuff about Pinterest and Pinfinity and started revamping it. And I had, a long time ago in my bio for Pinterest, dubbed myself the motivational expert. And it's amazing because I know at that time I probably didn't really think so. I thought it was more a joke or just a, oh yes, I'm gonna do this. And over time, I really have become known for being motivational, being able to help people see the plus side of maybe a not so great situation, things like that. Like, it's really come to fruition. And so I just want you to know that writing things out and speaking things into existence is totally a real thing. But back to Pinterest. So on here, with the photos, you replace the URLs with your site to drive traffic to you. So, when we're on Pinterest and we click on a photo, you will get directed out to whatever blog it is, how to make that foot scrub or blah, blah, blah. Instead, when you're pinning, go on there and you can edit the photo and then just erase whatever URL was in that spot and then put in your own. So to drive them to my Facebook page, then I just type in facebook.com/letsbefitwithbree. And then when they click that photo, it will take them directly over to my Facebook page. Here's an example. This was taken, it was a screenshot, so it's kind of condensed and small. But you can see under my name, I have there's my Team Beachbody website. Oops. Oh no. Okay, good. There's my Team Beachbody website and then my Facebook page. And there's that motivational expert I was talking about. So I also put on there like Frugalista in training because I'm working on ways to save money and I want, I have goals to be out of debt by, 2021, whatever. So that's also something people can relate to. Not everybody can relate to fitness or wanting to get fit, but people can relate to being a mom. People can relate to wanting to save money, wanting to be happy. I also like wine. I know a lot about wine, so that's something that I post about a lot too, which might seem contradictory to you, but it makes me more approachable and more of a real person because am I a robot who just, does everything how I'm supposed to do and blah, blah, blah? Like, no, I would look like Autumn Calabrese then, right? So, like, I'm a real person and I'm a mom and I get tired too. Just making yourself relatable, and that will open up the platform for people to talk to you. Excuse me. So here I said, my bio is unique to me and describes what my followers will find on my boards. That's what I just explained. And then my board names, Get Fit, Monday Motivation. I probably do need to refine them just a bit more. Easy recipes. What do you type in for Google? Salad ideas. Okay, that could be a board. Things that you're often looking for. Find it and create it. So here are the resources we were talking about. Forming GoPro by Eric Worre. That's like the network marketing Bible. And it's a fairly economical book. It's pretty cheap. If you are building a team, if you're a coach on your way to Diamond or however it might be, you're a leader when you have one coach with you. So just know that and just, command that level of leadership from yourself and you'll rise to it. But GoPro is great. And I actually bought like a case of books. And when I was gunning toward Diamond, I knew how close I was getting by how many books were not left in that box because I would send one to a new coach every time they signed up. So I really believe that's the perfect place to start. You'll just learn how to chat with people and make forming your language. The Go-Giver, like I said. So I want to expand on that. We're getting hacked. No, I'm kidding. I want to expand on the Go-Giver and adding value. So adding value doesn't always mean adding value advice about workouts or fitness or whatever. But in general, just adding value, adding encouragement, adding praise, adding helpful hint or a tip or whatever it might be. I've helped people with their homework before. I'm a nurse too, so I get a lot of nurse questions. And like, even though, I might have to research the answer or whatever, I'll find an answer for them because if they can trust me with their homework or a question about their daughter's measles or whatever it is, they're probably going to remember that I helped them with that issue and then come back to me later when they're ready to get fit. So really just adding value for the sake of being a good person and adding value. And this is why Beachbody changes us more than physically, right? Lindsay Krause on forming, she does a great job. Lindsay Krause is actually a fantastic person to follow on YouTube. You can look up the like pages. Janelle Summers is a great resource for all kinds of social media, honestly. Scotty Hobbs did a very good job for his like pages. And I can send LaDana this PowerPoint so that you can have the live links, because that's a lot of weird stuff to type in. Instagram. So Brianna Kiefer is actually on the Diamond Council team that I'm on, and she did a great job transitioning people from Instagram to Facebook. That was a really nice YouTube. And then Shalene Johnson, we know, is just what an entrepreneur, right? Fitness guru. She's really amped up all of network marketing and empowering people with her Courageous Confidence Club. She's my lady. Like, I just love her. So she's done a great job with Instagram. She runs a program called Instagram Impact. So those resources are out there for you as well. Natalie Jill is who created Pinfinity with the Pinterest, and she has just really reshaped how Pinterest works and has made that platform work for her and earn her several $1,000s. Now, I didn't get a chance or didn't really think about it, but Danny Johnson is also just phenomenal with forming, and Lindsay Krause has adapted a lot of her scripts on YouTube, and scripts might sound like I don't want to do that. I don't want to sound robotic, and it's not that. It's just like an actor practices his lines before he goes on Broadway, correct? You are getting the groove of that and just making it totally second nature to help people in a non-scary way. So Danny Johnson, D-A-N-I Johnson, and her YouTube is really good too. Those are just wonderful resources. So I reminded our coaches at Super Saturday that you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. Thus why I'm here with you fine ladies on this Monday evening. Thank you again so much for having me. But it's good to know that we really do work as a team. Teamwork makes the dream work, right? You'll have seasons, but you have to go through your rainy season to get your flowers in bloom, which also means, no pity party. You can't sulk and wallow in whatever bad things are happening in your life. Live it, because that's going to make you more human. Learn from it, and then rise above, because you're going to inspire the heck out of somebody when you do pull through that. And just side note, I lost my dad 2 months ago yesterday, and this past winter actually in and of itself was just like a plane crash with binge eating and whatnot. But I'm back on the wagon. I'm back to achieving my goals again. I'm showing people that the 21-day fix nutrition does work. I'm showing people that it makes me happy to encourage other people, and that's really helped my grief process. So just know that no matter what stage of your life, no matter what crazy things are happening, you can make coaching work for you. Be your brand. If you're not a happy, bubbly person, like I'm a total goof, I'm a klutz, I laugh at my own jokes, that kind of thing. If that's not you, that's okay. Don't fake it, because people are going to know if you're not being yourself. Be you, but also be the best version of you possible. If you're that cynic who's always swearing and you have road rage and all that kind of stuff, like that's kind of scary. And for me, like I don't like Jillian Michaels for a reason. She made me cry. So like I like the funny people who inspire and motivate me and that kind of thing. Granted, you're going to attract people who are most like you and who respond to you. So, excuse me, just keep refining yourself and keep growing. Invite. Like I said, it's not your decision. It's not up to you to say, nope, they're not interested, because has this opportunity not changed your life? So you want to spread that. And if inviting scares the heck out of you, just remember that all you want to do is find other people to help and let them feel as good as you feel. And a thing that I often say is everybody deserves to feel this good, because I feel great. And Shakeology has helped keep me off irritable bowel meds, and I think that's fantastic too. We are working to end the trend of obesity, and isn't that wonderful? As a nurse, I'm totally on board with that. And so it's really not about you and me and, how much money Beachbody's making us and whatever, and our, ripped six packs. At the end of the day, it's about helping all of these people that we live with in our culture together, and our children to be healthy and happy. So just an amazing mission that we're all on together, and embrace that. I really think that, when we look at the big picture, it's awesome. So again, thank you so much for having me here tonight, and I'm going to stop and we'll take some questions.